She thought her best friend's hands were shaping her beauty. She didn't know those same hands were mixing her downfall. Everyone in Lokoja knew Anita and Mercy. If you saw one, you were sure the other was nearby. From childhood, they had been together. Same street, same school, same church. They fetched water from the same well, fought the same bullies, and shared the same tiny dreams about growing up and living a better life one day. Their friendship started the year Mercy's family moved into the compound behind the old post office at Ganaja. They were only 9 then, 2 thin girls with barefoot legs and dreams too big for their small world. Anita was the loud one, always the first to talk back, always ready to laugh. Mercy was the gentle one, with the calm kind of smile that made people want to help her. They became inseparable from that first day. They shared everything: food, clothes, secrets, and even pain. Everyone said, these two will grow together like good friends. And for years, that's what they were. By the time they finished secondary school, life had already started showing them different sides. Mercy got an opportunity to learn tailoring under Madame Fausat, one of the best in Lokoja, while Anita got a job at a hair salon. The owner, Madame Kate, liked her confidence and sense of fashion. Soon Anita became popular for her handwork. She knew how to style wigs, fix braids, and make anyone look beautiful. The money was little, but Anita didn't mind at first. They still came home together every evening, laughing and talking as they walked through the dusty road, plastic bags swinging in their hands. But slowly, things began to shift. Mercy started getting better at her work. Madame Fausat began trusting her with big customers, rich women who came from Abuja to sew clothes. Anita would hear Mercy's name being mentioned around the street. Ah, that Mercy girl is doing well, oh. Even her madam talks about her like she's her own daughter. Anita would smile when people said it, but deep down, it stung. She started noticing how people looked at Mercy differently now. Even in church, they complimented her. Mercy, your dress is beautiful. Mercy, you're glowing. Mercy would always laugh shyly. It's just the sun, oh. But Anita saw more than glow. She saw how easy life seemed for her friend. One evening, they sat outside their room eating gari and groundnut as the evening breeze blew through. Mercy was talking about a new customer who promised to bring more clients from Abuja. Anita sighed and poked her gari with her spoon. Mercy, you're lucky, Sha. Everything you touch works. Mercy smiled gently. Don't say that, my dear. I just try my best. Your time will come too. But that line, your time will come too, felt like salt on Anita's chest. She didn't show it. She smiled back, but something small and bitter settled in her heart that day. Mercy's business grew faster than anyone expected. By her 24th birthday, she had her own shop. She even got a new iPhone. Customers started calling her directly. Men noticed her too. Not because she tried, but because Mercy had that calm grace that made people want to be around her. Every week, someone was trying to impress her. One man sent her food from a restaurant in town. Another man from the church once paid for her transport for a whole month. Anita watched all these things quietly. Sometimes Mercy would laugh and show her messages. Look at this one, Anita. He said he wants to marry me, but I don't even like him. Anita would laugh too, but her laughter was tight. It's your face that attracts blessings. Mercy always brushed it off. Don't talk like that. God will bless us both. But at night, when Mercy slept peacefully beside her, Anita would lie awake, staring at the ceiling fan turning slowly, thinking, why her? Why always her? Things became worse the day a man named Samuel entered their lives. He was a customer at Mercy's shop, tall, neat, and kind. After bringing his sister's gown to sew, he started visiting often, sometimes with gifts. He always greeted Anita politely, but never stayed to talk long. His eyes were always on Mercy. He would laugh at everything she said, buy her gifts, and sometimes wait outside till she closed. One Sunday after church, he even gave Mercy an envelope to support her business. Anita stared at it for a long time. She forced a laugh and said, "You're just attracting blessings anyhow, Abby." Mercy smiled innocently. "I didn't ask him, oh. He just gave me. I even told him not to." Anita nodded but said nothing. Inside her, it felt like something was tightening, something ugly and hot. She started avoiding Samuel's visits. Whenever he came around, she'd find an excuse to leave. But what really broke her peace came a week later. Mercy came home one evening. She was glowing not from makeup, but from joy. Her face carried that calm happiness that Anita both loved and feared. Guess what? Mercy said, dropping her bag on the bed. Anita looked up from the mirror where she was curling her new wig, the one she had bought after saving every tip for 3 months. What happened? Mercy laughed shyly, sitting beside her. Samuel proposed to me today. The comb slipped from Anita's hand. She turned slowly. He what? Proposed? She repeated, her voice quiet. For a long moment, Anita just stared at her. The sound of the ceiling fan filled the silence. Mercy sat on the bed, covering her face with her hands. I'm so happy, Anita. I didn't see it coming. He said he's serious about me. Can you imagine? He even bought me a diamond ring. She showed it proudly. He said he's coming to see my parents next week. Her voice trembled, full of excitement. Anita stared at the ring, then at Mercy's face. For a long moment, she didn't say a word. When she finally spoke, her voice was soft but shaky. Wow, I'm happy for you, my friend. Congratulations. Mercy hugged her tightly. You'll be next, my sister. You'll be my maid of honor. Anita hugged back, forcing a smile. Amen. But when Mercy went outside to answer Samuel's call, Anita sat alone in the room. The sound of Mercy's laughter floated in through the window, soft, sweet, careless. Anita looked at her wig on the table, the only thing she owned that made her feel beautiful, and felt tears burn behind her eyes. She whispered to herself, everything good keeps choosing her. The jobs, the gifts, the love. What about me? The image of the diamond ring looks rich and perfect stayed in her head. It wasn't the ring itself. It was what it represented. People gave Mercy things. People chose her. The world seemed to open for her naturally, while Anita had to push and fight for every little thing. Lying there in the dark, Anita whispered into the silence, maybe I just need to take my own blessing myself. She didn't know what she meant yet. She didn't know what that thought would turn into. But it was the beginning of jealousy that would grow into something she could no longer control. The next morning, she called her mother. Mama, she said softly when the woman answered. Mercy's getting married. Her mother's voice was warm. Ah, God has done it for her. You but sound sad, Anita. Anita hesitated. Mama, it's not sadness. It's just, it feels like life keeps picking her and skipping me. Her mother was silent for a while. Come home. There's one woman in the village who helps people when things don't move well. Maybe she can help you see what's blocking your shine. What kind of help? Nothing bad, her mother said quickly. The woman only looks. If it's ordinary, she'll tell you. If it's not, she'll tell you what to do. Anita wiped her eyes. Okay, Mama, I'll come. The next she traveled home. The air in the village was hot and thick with dust. Her mother led her to a compound at the end of a narrow road, where the smell of burnt palm leaves filled the air. An old woman sat on a wooden stool, grinding something dark in a clay bowl. Her skin looked like sun-dried bark, her eyes sharp and deep. Good afternoon, Mama Chica, Anita's mother greeted. Nah, my daughter I bring. Her heart is heavy. The woman didn't ask any questions. She just looked at Anita for a long time, her eyes slow and heavy, as if she could see everything hiding behind Anita's chest. Finally, she spoke. You don't hate your friend, she said quietly, but you can't stand how her life moves faster than yours. You smile with her, yet, every time she shines, your heart squeezes. That thing you're feeling, it's not peace, my daughter. It's envy. And if you don't face it, it will finish you from the inside. Anita lowered her eyes. Mama, I just want things to work for me too. I want people to see me too. She takes everything, Mama. Every good thing. I don't want her to die. I just want her lights to slow down a bit, so people can see me too. The woman watched her like someone weighing a soul. Then she stood and went inside her hut. When she returned, she carried 3 things: a small clay pot covered with black cloth, a tiny tin of brownish powder, and a wooden spoon. She placed them in Anita's hands. This is oil. This is powder. Mix either one with anything that will touch her skin, her cream, her foundation, even her powder. Just 2 small spoons. No more. Anita looked down at them, nervous. What will happen? Her beauty will rest. People will stop seeing her. Not sickness, not death, just sleep of the light, the woman said with a heavy voice. Will she know I did it? Anita asked. The woman gave a thin smile. Only if your tongue betrays your teeth. But listen, every beauty you dim takes one from you too. It is trade. Anita's heart thudded. She thought of Mercy's laughter, her ring, her glow. I'm ready, she said quietly. Back in Lokoja, the compound smelled of stew and perfume when Anita arrived. Mercy was sitting on the couch, phone in hand. smiling. "Anita," she squealed, rushing to hug her. "Guess what? Samuel and I are going to meet his parents tomorrow." Her voice was trembling with excitement. "He said his family has heard so much about me, and they can't wait to meet me. I'm finally meeting them." She rushed to hug Anita tightly. "Please, my bestie, I need your help. You know I don't know anything about makeup or looking classy like those rich girls. Please help me with my face tomorrow morning. Just a soft look. I want to look beautifully perfect for my husband to be." The words husband to be echoed in Anita's mind like a curse. But she smiled and said, "Why are we friends if I can't do small makeup for you? I'll make you look perfect." Mercy grinned and hugged her tighter. "I don't know what I'd do without you. Thank God for the day I met you." When Mercy left the room, Anita stood still, repeating that phrase husband-to-be again and again until her heart started to shake. She opened her small makeup kit, brought out her own face powder, and mixed in 2 spoonfuls of the dark powder the old woman gave her. She stirred it carefully until it blended like one. The smell was faint but strange, like earth after rain. She covered the container, hid the rest of the things under her wrapper, and sat quietly, whispering, "Let me see how you'll meet him without your beauty tomorrow." The next morning came with soft sunlight, slipping through the window curtains. Mercy was already awake, humming to herself as she folded her gown neatly on the bed. It was a soft cream dress with little gold buttons and matching heels. Her joy filled the whole room. "Anita," she called out from the mirror, smiling. "Wake up now. I'm going to see Samuel's family today." Anita turned slowly on her bed, pretending to yawn. "You're early." Mercy laughed. "Of course I'm early. Don't you know how important this is? I barely slept. I've prayed. I've ironed my dress. I even polished my heels." Anita smiled faintly, sitting up. "You're glowing already. Sit down. Let me help you with your makeup." Mercy beamed, rushing to sit before the mirror. "You're the best. Just make me look simple and beautiful. I don't want to look fake. You know how these family people can judge quickly." Anita nodded. "Don't worry. You'll look perfect." She opened her small makeup bag and brought out the face powder she had mixed the night before. The dark powder from the village blended so well you couldn't tell anything was different. She poured a little onto the lid, tapped her brush lightly, and started. Mercy sat still, smiling at her reflection. Anita brushed gently across her cheeks, forehead, and chin. The powder settled smoothly, making Mercy's skin glow under the morning light. "You see?" Mercy said, laughing softly. "You have magic hands. Samuel will be shocked when he sees me." Samuel's car horn sounded outside just as Anita finished dusting Mercy's face with the last brush of powder. Mercy stood before the mirror, turning her head from side to side. "Anita, you're gifted," she said softly. "Just look at me." Anita forced a laugh. "I told you, I can't let my best girl go looking anyhow to meet her in-laws." Mercy smiled, full of light. "You're my sister." She reached forward and hugged her tightly, whispering, "You'll be next, Anita. God will do it for you." Anita froze for a moment before hugging her back. "Amen," she murmured, her throat tight. Then came another horn pom-pom. Mercy squealed and ran to the window. "He's here!" Samuel's black car waited outside, shining under the morning Sunday. "Wish me luck," Mercy said, grabbing her purse. Anita smiled faintly. "You don't need luck, Mercy. Everything already loves you." Mercy laughed, blowing a kiss as she hurried out the door. Anita followed her to the compound gate. She stood there, watching as Samuel stepped out of the car in a crisp white shirt, opened the door for Mercy, and kissed her hand before she got in. It was a small gesture, but it tore something inside Anita clean open. She stood until the car disappeared down the road. Then she turned slowly, went back inside, and sat alone, whispering, "Let's see how perfect you look when they finally see your true face." At Samuel's family home, everything looked like a dream. The house was large and painted cream, with flowers climbing the gate and laughter spilling from the veranda. When they saw Mercy, they smiled warmly. "She's so beautiful," the mother said, hugging her. "You have taste, my son." Mercy laughed shyly, feeling her heart swell. They sat at the dining table, a spread of rice, stew, and fried meat laid before them. Mercy's face glowed as she looked at Samuel. He smiled back proudly. Everything was perfect. Until it wasn't. It started as a tiny itch under her chin. She scratched it softly and smiled, pretending nothing happened. But in seconds, the itch spread her cheek, her forehead, even around her nose. She tried to hide it, but the heat under her skin grew stronger. Then Samuel's younger brother, who had been eating, suddenly frowned. "Mommy," he said quietly, "her face is changing." The mother turned sharply. "Changing how?" Everyone looked. Mercy froze. "What? What's wrong?" The mother gasped softly, leaning forward. "Aha, Mercy, what happened to your face?" Samuel turned, his smile dropping instantly. "Babe, your skin." Mercy's hand flew to her cheek. Her skin felt rough. When she pulled her hand away, there were small reddish bumps, spreading fast like heat rash, but darker, angry. Her face was swelling, slow but visible. Samuel's mother stood up in alarm. "Mercy, did something bite you? Lord, have mercy." "Samuel, look at her eyes." Mercy's eyes were puffing up. Her lips trembled as she whispered, I don't know what's happening." Samuel stood quickly, embarrassed and worried at the same time. "Let's step outside, please." But before she could move, the mother hissed softly under her breath, "Jesus, what kind of thing is this on your face? Is it a disease?" "Samuel, are you sure this girl is healthy?" "Mommy, please," Samuel whispered. "It's just a reaction." Mercy's hands were shaking. Her throat tightened. The mother's words stung deeper than the pain on her skin. She looked around the table. Everyone's eyes were on her. Even the little children had stopped eating. Tears filled Mercy's eyes. "Ma, please, I don't know what." "Don't touch anything again," Sammy's mother snapped. "You look like you are cursed." "Let's go," Samuel said quickly, helping her up. But the room already buzzed with whispers. The mother turned away, muttering prayers. One of the aunties crossed herself. A cousin whispered loudly, "You see why I don't like city girls? Always bleaching." Mercy couldn't take it anymore. Her chest heaved. Tears fell freely as she stumbled out the door. Outside, she broke down completely. "Samuel, I swear, I didn't do anything. I just wanted to look nice for your family." Samuel looked at her, his face caught between pity and discomfort. "Let's just go home, please." Back at the flat, Anita sat on the couch, painting her nails when Mercy burst in, crying. "Anita, my face, they all looked at me like I was a monster," she sobbed. Samuel's mother called it a curse. "They said I was bleaching." Anita rushed to her side, pretending to panic. "Oh my God! What happened? Calm down. Let me see." But as Mercy raised her face, Anita's eyes widened not out of surprise, but out of something else. Satisfaction. The bumps had spread across Mercy's face, dark, red, and swollen. Her beauty, the same glow Anita envied for years, was gone in a single afternoon. Inside her chest, Anita felt the same warmth that jealousy had given her the first day. Mercy showed her that ring, but she didn't show it. She hugged Mercy tightly, whispering, "Don't worry, my dear, you'll be fine." And under her breath, she smiled. Mercy stayed indoors for days. The once bright laughter that used to fill their flat in Lokoja was gone. Even the walls seemed to carry silence. Anita moved around quietly, cooking, sweeping, pretending to check on her friend. But each time she passed Mercy's door, she smiled faintly to herself. She had seen the humiliation with her own eyes, the family's shock, the whispers, the tears. She had imagined that day for years, and now, it had finally happened. Samuel stopped calling. His texts stopped coming. Mercy's world had fallen apart. But even then, Anita felt no pity, only peace. One afternoon, Mercy's phone rang. It was Madame Fawcett, the woman she learnt the tailoring from. "Mercy, how are you?" Madame Fawcett asked. "I'm tired, Ma," Mercy replied weakly. "Nothing I've used is working. My face burns all the time." Madame Fawcett was silent for a moment. Then, "Stop wasting money on drugs. This one, I don't think it's ordinary. You should go to church, my dear. Let them pray for you." At first, Mercy hesitated. But by the next morning, she found herself standing in front of the church at the edge of town. The air smelled of dust and incense. When the pastor saw her face, he didn't ask too many questions. He prayed quietly, then said, "This is not sickness. It's a hand that came from jealousy. The person who caused this is someone you love, someone you trust deeply." Mercy froze. "Someone I love?" The pastor nodded slowly. "A friend. She has eaten with you, laughed with you, and wished you dead in her heart." Tears filled Mercy's eyes. "No, not Anita. She can't. She's my sister. Pray to break every covenant made on your behalf, without your permission." He poured oil on her forehead and prayed for hours. By evening, Mercy felt a strange calmness she hadn't felt in weeks. The heat in her face faded. The pain died slowly, and the next morning the swelling was gone. Her face was clear, smooth, beautiful again. She stood in front of her mirror, crying softly, "Thank you, Jesus." But at that same moment, somewhere across town, Anita was screaming. It began with a sharp pain in her head, like something crawling under her scalp. She ran to the mirror and gasped. Her face was swelling. Tiny bumps had begun to rise on her cheeks, just like Mercy's had. Her skin itched and burned. She poured cold water, rubbed cream, nothing worked. By the time Mercy returned home that evening, Anita was sitting on the couch, wearing heavy powder and a scarf. Mercy entered smiling, face glowing again. "Anita, you won't believe it. The pastor prayed for me. Everything is gone. Look." Anita stared, her smile tight, her throat dry. "Wow, you look healed." Mercy shook her head gently. "They said it wasn't ordinary." Anita forced a laugh. "You know pastors, they always have something to say." But deep inside, fear gripped her heart. The burning on her forehead spread again. She could barely sleep that night. Her pillow was wet with sweat. By midnight, she called her mother, crying, "Mama, I'm dying. My head is on fire." Her mother's voice trembled. "What happened, Anita?" "Mama, I don't know. It's like my skin is tearing. Please, I'm coming home." "Come, my daughter. Let's go and see that woman again. The one who gave you the powder." By the next morning, Anita and her mother were on the road to meet the woman. The road was long, dusty, and quiet. Anita's scarf covered half her face. Her hands trembled the whole way. When they arrived at the woman's compound, the gate was wide open. The smell of smoke filled the air. A young girl sweeping the yard looked up and said, "Mama Chica, she's gone. She died 3 nights ago." Anita's knees buckled. "What?" "Yes," she was shouting in her sleep. "They said she died with her eyes open." Anita's mother looked at her daughter and whispered, "Oh my God, Anita, who is going to help us now?" Anita began to cry uncontrollably. "Mama, please, I didn't mean it. I just wanted to slow her light. I didn't mean to kill myself." Her mother hugged her tightly. "My daughter, I warned you. Jealousy has no friend. You went to the wrong fire." Back in Lokoja, Anita's body continued to change. The patches spread across her face, her chest. She stopped going out. She avoided the mirror. The pain crawled into her bones. Mercy tried to stay away, but when she heard Anita screaming one night, she rushed into her room. "Anita!" she cried. "What happened?" Anita was on the floor, her hair scattered, her face swollen and dark. "Mercy, please, help me. I can't bear it anymore." Mercy knelt beside her, terrified. "Let's go to the church. They can pray for you too." "No," Anita gasped. "It's too late. The woman who made the powder is dead. The curse can't be reversed." Mercy's eyes widened. "Powder? What powder? And what cursed?" Anita's voice broke into sobs. "I did it, Mercy. I was the one. I mixed the thing in your makeup. Why do you always win? I wanted to take your shine. You were always chosen for jobs, for men, for everything. Even your sickness couldn't stay. You healed and made it look like I was the bad one. I just wanted to be seen too." Mercy covered her mouth in shock. Tears rolled down her cheeks. "Anita, you were my best friend, my only sister." Anita shook her head weakly. I know. Please forgive. All my body is on fire." Mercy's chest rose and fell as she knelt beside her, holding Anita's trembling hands. Tears dripped onto their joined fingers. Her voice shook as she said softly, "I forgive you, Anita. Long before you confessed, I already left everything for God. God knows I never wished you bad. I only ever wanted us to win together. But you turned our love into a wound." Anita sobbed harder, her breathing shallow. "Why? Why does your spirit refuse to break? I've tried everything, Mercy. Everything. But your light keeps coming back stronger." Mercy brushed the tears from her own eyes. "Because I never fought you, Anita. You were the one fighting yourself." Anita let out a weak laugh that sounded more like pain than joy. "Maybe that's why it's ending like this." Her eyes fluttered open one last time, soft and distant. "You shine too bright. Maybe that's why I burned." Her hand went limp in Mercy's palm. Her breathing stopped, and the silence that followed was louder than any scream. Mercy bowed her head and wept, her tears falling on Anita's still hand, the same hand that once held hers through childhood, through laughter, through dreams. Jealousy doesn't destroy beauty, it destroys peace. The moment you wish someone's light to go dim, you invite darkness to your own home. Envy pretends to be hunger for success, but it's only hunger for pain. Mercy's light survived not because she was lucky, but because her heart stayed pure, and Anita's fire, it burned her first.